What's up, guys? I'm LQ. This is the LQ Review, here to talk about The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 8. It's the mid-season finale, and this was a lot better than Episode 7, to be sure. Episode 7, I did not like it at all. This episode actually started out with right where the last episode left off, with Siddiq dying by Dante, and Rosita. Rosita discovers what happened. And her and Dante go to blows, and she's able to get out of it unscathed, and she beats Dante to the ground. But she doesn't kill him. No, she doesn't kill him. That comes later. At the hands of none other than Father Gabriel, who just puts it on Dante. He just puts it on Dante with a knife and multiple stabbings, and I didn't know Father Gabriel had it in him, to be honest with you. I guess I should have known that. Father Gabriel's grown a lot over the course of the years, but it was nice to see Gabriel finally take up the sword, so to speak, against the Whisperers. And I don't know that this is something that's not going to come with repercussions, but there it is. Gabriel takes down Dante, and we got to see the background on how Alpha kind of weaponized Dante. So that was all very cool to see as well. What I didn't like about this episode was, come on, man, where's Negan? Negan's been out of it for a few episodes now. Bring back Negan. He's the best part of this show. Bring him back. Bring him back. I want to see him follow his arc from the comics and and honestly, that's how I thought they were going to end this season, or the mid-season. Episode 8, I thought was going to end with him chopping a little off Alpha's top. But it didn't. We didn't even see Negan. He was barely even referenced. Now, a big storyline here was Michonne's storyline, and she's off. She's off to some island, a military island that has military-grade weapons, to get those weapons and send them back. And I think this is all just speculation on my part, but I feel like she's going to get some clues about where Rick is while on this island. I feel like she's going to whoever took Rick has a helicopter. I'm not saying that these people are the ones that took Rick, but they might know who did. So I think that this is a really interesting place for Michonne to go. And we know that she's leaving the show. And we also speculate that she's going to pop up in the Rick trilogy, the trilogy of movies that's coming out. And this might be the beginning of that journey for her. And she left Judith behind. So it's very possible that as Michonne leaves to go on this journey, that Judith is going to stay behind in Alexandria and keep telling the story. And I really like the fact that they showed Judith actually documenting what's been happening. I think that that's going to be a big part of how they end this show, is with Judith kind of being, if you read the comics, you know that Carl kind of did some documenting of what happened himself at the end of the comics. So I feel like at the end of this show, we're going to see Judith doing the history keeping and the storytelling, and we've already seen a lot of that come into play with the way that they tell Rick's story. So I like that component of it. I'm not terribly interested in the Michonne storyline, but it leaves possibilities that are interesting. I could see this turning into a very good, very interesting storyline. Right now, I'm just kind of so about it. My interest isn't terribly piqued, but I'm encouraged by the possibilities. That's the best way to say it. Not a whole lot of Alpha this episode, not a whole lot of Whispers. We got to see Aaron kind of work on that relationship with Gamma, and I think that's going to obviously play big dividends in part 2 of this season. But overall, this was a much better episode than the previous one. This one ends on a cliffhanger, but given the people who are trapped with all these walkers around them, they're going to get out of it. I mean, Daryl and Carol are 2 of them. And we know that they've re-signed for like 2 more seasons after this. So Daryl, they're going to get out of this. Don't know how, but they're going to get out of it. We know that Alpha's there, so it's possible that I don't know. It's possible that Alpha ends up calling off the herd. I don't know. I don't know, but I know they're going to get out of it. So this, out of all the mid-season finales that Walking Dead has had, this one felt like it had some of the least tension. So like they usually end with some sort of a cliffhanger for the mid-season finale, and this one it's a cliffhanger, but it's the one that this one doesn't have a lot of tension. It doesn't have a lot of oh no, because we know they're going to get out of it. So that's kind of how I feel about this mid-season finale. Is cool. When's it come back? But overall, a much better episode. Still not anywhere near the best episode of the season. Those episodes belong to Negan, and I definitely look to see. I look to see more of him in part 2. We got to see more of him in part 2 because his story is the most interesting right now. So overall, though, what did you guys think of this episode, the mid-season finale of The Walking Dead? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. And thank you for being here at the OK Review, where we talk about all of the geeky, nerdy stuff we love to talk about. And until next time, we'll see you later.
Every single day